Hello everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh my god. My VTuber broken again. Or my PNG tuber's throwing again. There we go. Welcome in everyone. Hello DJ, hello Soli. Even though you're in the call with me, Soli. Hello. Welcome in. Today is session 4 of Sylvandria. Um you can refer to the notes over on the Discord if you want to look at what happened last time, but we will also be doing a little recap for when the session starts, just so if anyone missed anything and just wants to pick up here without going over to Discord or anything, they can get a quick last time on Sylvandria type of thing. Today may or may not be an eventful one. We'll see. You're here instead of doing work. That's okay, Switch. That's okay. I don't have the third session notes for this week, but should be up next week. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Also, for those of you who are interested in a little bit more of the lore and you want to read and or look at more things than what is shown on stream, there is a World Anvil link over on the Discord that you can click, and you can actually look at the interactive map as well as some of the documents that are available to you guys. Just if you want to read up on any more lore or anything like that. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I will not be interacting with chat during the stream, except maybe some messages here and there, or, you know, if it's intermission or something. Can I get up before this session recap extra skim time? Yeah, we're gonna do it. So I won't tell you what happened exactly last time, because we did that. We're going to do that. I have my players do that at the beginning of every session so that they also understand what, like, they get a refresher. But up before last session, basically the party went through this trial called the Proving, which involves some puzzles and fighting monsters and stuff to essentially unlock their potential through what is called the Weave, which is a large tree that grants the world access to magic. So it kind of just gives them access to certain affinities of magic that they each have, as well as their own unique item that each of them got. They also get like a mark from this tree that essentially, it marks them for completing the trial, which proves that they are worthy of its magic. This is the higher magic society, so a lot of people know cantrips, at least, which is very basic spells, if you don't know what cantrips are, that pretty much anyone can cast without much mana cost. So normally people can't do that in D&D, but in this world, you can. There will be a world map up when I switch over to my D&D overlay that I have, so you can kind of see what the world looks like. You'll also get to see the characters. I would also like to make a note before we do hop in. Gunnar will not be able to make it today. He has some family-related stuff going on. Not anything bad. I'll put it this way: he got given some side quests, some unskippable side quests, so he's not able to join today. Well, that's okay. But recently, the players have been, after they completed like their trial or whatever, they decided to make their own guild, because normally right after you complete the trial you can join a guild or make a guild, and there's 4 big guilds: the Adventurers Guild, the Explorers Guild, the Research and Development Guild, and the Diplomacy Guild. If a side quest is unskippable, that's just okay. You have a point. that is just a normal quest. You're right. But yeah, they decided to make their own guild. Currently, we have one homebrew class, which is a transmutation alchemist from the anime Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Which that is who Milo Hohenheim is. He's an alchemist. Otherwise, we have Caroline Wells and no, Gunner. It is Gunner. Gunner is here today. I meant Zero will not be here today. Zero will not be here today. Gunner is here. Zero is not. I always get those two mixed up. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message in chat, and I can message back when I get a chance. Or if you do want to interact, I can message back when I get a chance. But like I said, I'm not gonna really interact as much. This could go from 3 to 4 hours compared to my normal 3-hour streams, but it all depends on them. Could even go 2.5 hours depending on where we want to end it. But it's a very open world environment that they're gonna be thrown into, or that they are currently in. So. Yeah, well, I'll ask them about last session to kind of get caught up with that. Otherwise, DJ does have a up to session 2. He has notes written out, very detailed notes with pictures and everything that you can go through. over on the Discord if you would like to. So feel free. But all right. Also, the song requests are not available during the stream. They were available during this time, but not when the session starts, because that'd be weird if like someone recommended something like, I don't know, Taylor Swift while we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't fit. It does not fit. 1984. You're right. All right. Without further ado, I'm gonna go undeafen on Discord, and we're gonna get the ball rolling. Um, Hopefully the overlay doesn't have any issues. Sometimes it does when I first like load it up. So we'll see. What Taylor Swift is the final boss? This might happen. You know, it just might happen. All right, let's undeafen. I hope they're not saying slurs.
Delete the evidence. Delete the evidence.
Hi.
Hi.
Dude,
What's up?
guy.
We're here.
We did not
It's
do
time.
anything weird or suspicious in here. We are not talking about anything weird or suspicious here,
Right.
and we are ready for the session.
Right.
Yep.
I
We're definitely not clearing my camera roll.
I have reason to believe that.
Yeah.
Because we've never done anything wrong. We've
You
never
guys were
done
talking
anything
about
wrong.
twinks, weren't you? Nice try, Diddy. Nice try, Diddy.
Nice try, Diddy.
No.
He said he was
Don't make me send you a
12!
photo of a hot insect woman. Don't make me do it.
What?
Alright, guys, lock in. Lock in. Lock in.
All right. I'll put my phone down.
Yep. We're not gonna look at the suspicious green and white website anymore. We're done.
Okay. Anyways, what happened last time, guys?
So we exited the trials, right? Zero got kicked out near us, and then they celebrated our existence. Like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, we got through, and they celebrated it for like all of like 25 seconds, and then I walked over to the Guy Fieri, Flavortown, the guy who was running like and announcing the whole thing. I'm like, hey dude, yeah, like there was some creepy weird shit going on with like a dude named like Nalthrix or some shit, and he was like, oh man, that's cool, don't worry about it. Shit like that always happens around these years, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but do you guys like do nothing about it? Don't worry about it. So that guy's obviously an idiot. So we go to the side tents, and we get a medical examination. You know, we get fully restored and stuff. And then we go and get our affinity checked, which, yeah, we all get our affinities. We leave, exit the room. We decide whether or not we want to go to the, guilds or the shop. And then all of a sudden, a random dude who's like, yo, dude, you completed the trial, right? He's really, like, out of it. So, he's like, oh, here, take money and go spend it on some shit. I don't know. Whatever. And then he goes and, he goes and does that, right? He gives us money, and then we go and spend it on stuff. Caroline goes and checks out guilds for a minute while we go and spin stuff. Zero and Gunnar eat food. I try to find out where a bag of holding is, find a bag of holding, have a bag of holding. I grab some food, put it away. Yeah. We go and head to the Democracy Guild and hear a speech as we sit in line. Then the speech guy, which is the leader of the Heart, elected. He's elected leader of the Heart. He talks about hope and shit. And then he talks about, oh yeah, next to the Democratic or Democracy Guild, there's a thingy thing, to give complaints or like at least notices of what happened inside of the old trial. Hold on. Oh, sneeze. Is there a second one? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, then we look into making our own guild. We establish our own guild with only like $50 dues or whatever. It wasn't that much. It was like 75, I think, right? And I use my lands for the purposes of making a guild. And yeah, we use a free ticket to go back there. Caroline gets dropped off at Serafel because that's where we teleport to. We all go to Serafel. I notify uh, Caroline's dad about, hey, dude, we're putting up stuff, and I actually was gonna continue to do research, but I'm probably gonna whatever and such, and try to get them to side with it and fund whatever. Anyway, we go to my lands. I start laying groundwork with blueprints and using Shape Earth to kind of flatten out and dig out the ground for the basement, because we're going bottoms up to build the thing. We have Zero go get iron, and he goes to Erner Bear to go get some iron. Talks to a dwarf guy. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Dwarf guy said, yeah, after a little bit of convincing, on one condition that we set up a shop within the guild, and then he was gonna give us half off on the metal. We got 50 pounds of metal. Zero brought back the metal. When he started coming back, a guard from the R&D guild said, "Hey, yo, where you at? Where you heading? Why are you here?" And then he explains that, and then he gets a way back to the old place. And I see the guard. We basically trade spots. I walk back with the guard. Caroline, you're gonna have to give me the name for your father figure. I'd like that, because I'm not trying to like fuck that up. And yeah, so I'm gonna go into the R&D department and try to vie for their aid, because yeah, I'm doing research on the side, which would also allow us to put up the guild in the first place, which would also allow some of our workers to be other researchers because I have a workshop. But then that's where we cut it.
Yep, that is where we cut it. So because Zero can't make it, he obviously can't be doing much. I guess we'll basically just say that he'll just be resting at the guild for now.
I mean, he did just bring back a shit ton of metal by hand. A whole day's trip.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, what are you guys up to right now? Mainly, I want to see Caroline. First off, Caroline, what is the name of your father?
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I also might.
The name of my father is Elias.
Elias Wells. Okay. So, the goal is, I'm gonna reach. I already reached out to Elias when you got dropped off back in Serafel. I might go back there real fast, so that I can present the case with him, because he was kind of on the same thing as me. The study of bioalchemy and healing. And or human transmutation and healing. Yeah. So that's the plan.
Yeah, so Caroline, while they were going to the guild over north on Tridge, you stayed for majority of the day over in Serafel. What were you doing in Serafel?
I was spending the day with my father.
Alright, what did you and your father do?
We catch up on like the time that we've been away from each other. I tell him about the trials. I tell him about my gift, and there's a little bit of an argument about it, but everything goes well, and now we're having a cup of tea.
Okay. So currently it is late at night. So that's when Zero got back last night. As you mentioned, he was escorted by the guard from Ern Beor.
Yep.
He kind of just found him, got escorted over to the guild, and then that fellow was heading up to the Research and Development Guild.
And I followed said guard up back.
It is it's really late at night at the moment, so it's very dark out. You don't hear a lot around you guys. So Milo, you're heading with the guard to the guild.
Yep.
Gunner, what are you doing?
The goal was
I was finishing up the finances, and then I was going to collect resources.
Click what?
I want to scan the area for potentially like wood, stone, maybe any other like pockets of other materials that might be useful.
All right. What are you going to be using to do this?
My sheer speed and just sprinting around the area, surveying, just writing down anything I see.
Okay, roll perception, please.
Go crazy with it, please.
Dude. That is right. Right there. 8.
Ooh.
I mean, you can see the trees in the area and maybe some sticks and stones on the ground occasionally here and there, but that's about it. On the 3 acres of land that you guys have, that is.
Can I go off of our 3 acres a little bit, where nobody else, like into like a more deserted area, and look around there?
You could. Which way are you going? Like, north, south, east, west of the guild?
Let me look over here. God damn it! Oh, God. It did the thing where like if I like right click on the map, it just closes Roll20 completely.
What?
Yeah.
Right click on the map and it closes it entirely.
Yeah, I try to like you click right click to like move the map around, and it just closes the entire app for some reason.
I don't get that. That's more
To
complicated than left
the
click.
east is where like towards the water
Okay.
is where I want to go.
Roll persuasion as well as a d20, please.
Persuasion or perception?
It's perception, my bad. Persuade them rocks to speak to you, my brother.
What do they have? What do you hold?
Perception and D20.
Yeah,
Holy
perception and
God
d20.
damn it!
Hey, you're getting the bad rolls out now.
No, this is gonna be the entire session. Jesus Christ!
Good lord. That's with a
Jesus
+2 modifier
Christ.
as well. You almost got a nat 1. You see about the same out here. But with the dark and everything, you can't really see much. And tonight's quite a windy night, so I mean your ears aren't really helping you much either here in terms of looking for anything.
All right, I'm just gonna go back to the guild and write down what I've discovered around.
All right. Do you have like paper or anything?
I mean, I have a finance sheet I've been writing on.
Yeah. Are you just gonna write on
Yeah,
that, or
I got
do
a
you have like
notebook,
more
bro.
paper?
I mean, there's more paper
I have a
probably in the
notebook.
workshop.
I have it separated.
Okay.
There's also probably plenty of parchment and paper in my workshop anyway. So.
I will say you guys both are starting to feel tired. So do with that what you will. If you go a day without sleep, you will suffer a level of exhaustion.
I'm going to finish up writing down all of our finances, and then I'm going to sleep.
All right, where are you sleeping in his house, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Cool. Long rest, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. In that case, Milo, you're heading to the Research and Development Guild still?
Yep, I'm following him back, and when I get there, I was explaining, hey, whatever. I'm basically just here to at least request an audit from, I guess, any of the executives or main people of the R&D department to pitch an idea.
He kind of, after hearing you out, and you can see the guild from quite a far ways away, as its size is humongous, being its large castle walls and towers around, especially the light that emanates from it, among several magical gleamings here and there with runes and magical castings. But as you approach and kind of explain this to him, he turns to you and removes his little visor he has over his eyes, revealing his eyes are kind of this glowing yellow color, and he appears to be a drake folk under all his armor. I mentioned this to you after you say all this. Do you want me to just put in like an application for this audit for you or something? Because otherwise, you're gonna have to go in and wait.
Yeah, that's fine. I need to gather some information anyway. You're just a guard. That's you may not know this. But do you know of anybody who has like anybody within the R&D department that uses like live test examples like mice or perhaps something else?
Yeah, no. As a guard, I'm not really allowed to know that information.
Okay, that's fine.
If
I was
you
gonna.
ask around, you probably won't get much about it because, like I said, I'm not allowed to be around that type of information, so they're not going to be giving that out freely.
Okay.
Maybe if the audit goes well, they might let you in if you're looking into something like that.
Well, no, I was gonna need something for a test, or I guess an example of a use case. That's fine.
Well, I saw your guild down there. Is it fine if I just send the mail or news down to the guild when I do
Yeah,
hopefully get it?
yeah, that works. Thanks.
Now this audit process can take up to a month, so you may be waiting quite a ways out before you hear any answer. If you don't hear an answer before then, assume that it was declined.
Okay. Thank you.
He'll put his visor back on and nod to you as he continues walking back to the guild.
All right. I'll fuck off. I'm gonna head back to my home and I'm gonna rest up before I get exhausted and shit. With the goal of Serafel being my next venture tomorrow, going over there to probably try to put together some information with our good friend. His dad. The dad. I already forgot the name.
Elias.
Uncle.
Elias.
Elias. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go chat with Elias and Serafel tomorrow. That's what the goal is.
Caroline, is there anything else you're doing?
I'm just relaxing for the evening.
Okay. In that case, since there's nothing else that neither you guys want to do, I'm gonna do a long rest. So you guys can feel free if you go to your sheet and do a long rest. All of you can do that. Replenish all your mana, hit points, etc., etc. I'm assuming you guys didn't need to eat any of the leftovers you had because you ate there.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys do eat every day unless you want exhaustion.
That's
Which
okay.
you guys should be fine. I think I said it's 2 gold per person per day.
3.
3 gold?
You said 3, but
3.
Okay.
we can make it 2. We can make it 2.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
wanna make
it's
it 2.
fine.
Oh man.
I thought my honesty would be rewarded. Damn it! Lie, people, lie. You've got to cheat and lie to make it in life.
All right, so the new day breaks, and you guys are up and at 'em, feeling well rested after the trial. A few sore muscles here and there from fighting in the trials and whatnot, but and being tossed around. But otherwise, everything seems well.
I'm gonna probably brief with Gunner. I'm gonna brief with Gunner, and then I'm gonna, whatever. Hey Gunner, I'm gonna go to Serafel today. I'm gonna retrieve Caroline, and I'm probably gonna talk to her dad about what we could put together for information to get an audit from the R&D department up north. The guild.
Do you think there's anywhere I can go where I can maybe find like a way to get money?
A hustle? Serafel.
Yeah, I mean, while you're doing stuff, I
probably-
got nothing to do here.
There's probably work to be had. I don't know, to the south. Around here,
I can check
got a
out
lot of-
Antridge.
yeah, maybe try to focus on work that an alchemist couldn't do, because you got Serafel close, Antridge even closer, and a shit ton of alchemists around. If you want
Don't
to
worry,
skip over,
I'm not an alchemist anyways.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that like a lot of labor-intensive work that isn't quote unquote skillful, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like just manual labor wouldn't really be necessary.
Yeah.
So maybe you an herbalist?
I know
Like
my way around an herb.
you might be able to work that way. Maybe go to Ontridge, something like that. Maybe help out around some sort of tavern or something. Because as far as I know, alchemists can't like just synthesize stuff into existence. They can't bloom whatever they want.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if I can make us some money because the only person with cash right now is Caroline.
Yeah. Which I'll brief her on that when I get to it. But yeah, I think we're gonna
All
be
right.
heading the same direction if you want to go to Ontridge.
Yeah.
I gotta shoot through there if I want to make it.
Yeah, we can go together to Ontridge and then split off.
Yep. So
Zero's
which way?
still tucked in like a baby.
I mean, he
I'm
did
just
just
gonna leave him.
haul that metal here. The hope is that I'll get that squared away when I get back. I'll have Elias put
Mm.
together some information, and I'll even get in my notebook. So hold on, I'm gonna go to the workshop real fast.
All right, I'll be waiting.
I want to step into the workshop, if I may, and look around at our loose notes on human transmutation. Can't use a live human to test on because that'd be pretty fucked. I wouldn't just want to walk into an audit room. And, oh, hey, by the way, hey, Jim Bob. And it's just like a dude that is kind of like an artist nude model, and I just like chop his arm off and like, here, I'm gonna put it back on now.
Oh,
That's just a
yeah. Let me
teenage
try this
project.
again.
Oh, oops, and now he's a monster. He's a creature. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, I'm gonna gather the notes, basic components, stuff like that, in terms of like rules for human transmutation, and I'm gonna run that outside, and I'm gonna accompany Gunner to Ontridge, storing it in my bag folding,
Right.
so I can fit a shit ton more papers. Yeah.
So you guys, could you roll a d20 on your way to Ontridge?
Oh boy, I can't
Alright.
wait to slip and break my arm.
Oh
That is
boy.
cool.
Ooh, a
Oh,
stray meteor swarm happens to land on your path.
really? Well, guess I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Uh,
I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but Gunner's okay.
All right, you guys make your way to Ontridge with not much. You just pass by a few travelers, mainly heading down towards the direction of the guild in Erner Beor, towards the northwest-ish area, following that path upwards. You guys travel down to Ontridge, which, as you can see, Ontridge is kind of a smaller, just passing through village area with a tower that it has right
Yep.
there, kind of for looking around and watching, like a watch-out tower, lookout tower type of thing. So it's like a smaller, quaint type of village.
I've got a question that may help Gunner out. That's just a general ask question, considering I've been around these parts for a long time. Is this one of them types of villages that's a hit in the road, got a quote unquote Casey's and maybe a general store, but like not a hospital or any
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
main functions?
It would be
Hmm.
more so like you're passing by, and all your main stuff is either going to be at Ionis or Serapho, or the guild if you're going to the guild, I guess.
Or all the way in Urner Bear. Yeah, I don't know. Gunner, maybe try to shoot for something that's something that's not particularly offered in a small spot in the road like this.
Yeah.
They've got basic utilities, but not much else, so you can try to help out any other way you can.
Yeah, I can check out and see if anyone needs
And
any help, and if not, I can head over to Seraphel later.
if you can network at all, that would be cool. Ask around, see if you know, anybody's in need of any old work. Because we could also have that be a part of our guild. It's obviously not put together yet, but we're still adventurers in a sense, and we're still capable of working, being sprouts. So, yeah. I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder, and I'm gonna walk down the road down to Seraphel.
All right, roll a d20, please. Okay.
Ash baby moment. I look at the sun, and it turns a couple degrees hotter. Just the sun's fire, and I just get turned to dust on the road. But only on me.
All right.
What's gonna happen to me, bro?
On your way over to Seraphel, you travel by several traveling merchants as well as what appears to be like a postman type of thing, like a cart filled with mail, heading north, through Ontridge and whatnot. One of the traveling merchants carrying fruit. One of the wheels breaks and the cart falls on your foot and hits your toe. Pretty bad.
Damn.
Hey
man.
The farmer apologizes and quickly puts the wheel back on and picks up his fruit and veggies and carries on.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, you can.
And fixing his wheel, like if it does, is it just bust off the spoke, or did it just like explode?
It just busted off.
Oh, busted off the spoke. Okay. I can't really lift it up, but as soon as he puts it back on, I'm going to make myself a small little circle using the shape earth on the dirt, and I'm going to put a cap. I'm gonna grow the reshape the wood to put almost like a hubcap over that specific wheel, if that makes sense. So it's sitting on an axle, and usually those spokes are just kind of, you sit it on the spoke and that's it, end of story.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna move the wood of the spoke, or of the the spoke outwards, and then have the wood almost like make a flared base around it. That should get you wherever you need to go. Let me roll for that.
Please do.
We're okay. We're okay.
It didn't break. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a basic transition. That's -2. But hey,
he thanks you and continues on his way, looking at what you've done with his wheel as he goes along. This is like a smaller wagon that he's pulling behind himself, by the way. And you can tell that he's like a farmhand, or has been for quite some time, as his body is he's got that like farmer stain, and he's stocky.
Thicker fella.
Yeah. But you continue your way to Seraphel, and nothing else really exciting happens.
Was that heavily damaging to my poor little foot? And also, which foot was it?
It was your right foot.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have you take any damage for it, but it's just like a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, no. Just slightly crushed foot. It's like when you lift something and it falls and it drops on your leg.
It would have been a little bit different if you rolled a nat 1 in the dead of night, but not the dead of night.
Oh yes, random bandit comes and holds you at knife point on your throat.
Yes. So you walk into Seraphel, and you know these streets quite well, as you've been here quite a bit with your father and without your father.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were just here.
Yep. I'm standing on business, so I'm going straight to Caroline's house to talk to Elias and also to retrieve Caroline.
All right. Caroline, are you there? Or are you elsewhere?
I'm out.
You're out.
That's fine.
You're not there?
I'm not there. I'm not at the house.
Okay.
Is Elias there?
Elias is there, yes.
Pops? Oh, wonderful.
Hey. You like knock up, are you knocking on his door? Okay, he knocks.
Yep. Yeah.
Knock. He opens the door. Kind of looks at you and gives you a slight smile. Oh, it's been a while.
Well, actually, no. It's only been a day, and I already sent out an audit request to the R&D department. So we can continue our work in a funded and also legal manner. I say with a half smile and air quotes. But
Hey,
yeah, I
it's
have
legal enough.
some of my. Hey, we're gonna make it legal, and it's gonna be mainly used, and it's gonna save a lot of lives. I got my dad's and my notes, so we can go over it, so we can kind of come up with a method of attack. Because I know if we just come off the cuff with, oh yeah, we just want to do this, they're gonna be like, oh, that's gross.
And do
You
you
can't
want to
do that.
present
That's
this
wrong.
to the R&D guild?
Yes, to receive some sort of fair or support. Either support by word, so I can do this and nobody's going to tell me that I can't, or rather we, so you can continue any work that you would like to do. Because I know that, well,
Wouldn't
you
it be
know,
better if we
I
were
know
to
you
get
know.
support around, Seraphill and Ontridge before doing that audit?
Well, we can also do that here. I'm saying just the audit request is a month out. It could take as long as a month, so we can gather as much information as possible. And obviously, I'm putting up a guild, so I still have to do that too. But
How is
if we
that?
can get
How
our
is that going, by the way?
I received some metal materials. I'm probably gonna need more. That's the audit is not really as much for that, for funding, for the guild, but it's just gonna be a supportive side crutch so that I can continue to do stuff. I'll probably have to talk to whichever hospital around here. I forgot the name of it. We did get a bunch of bodies, corpses to study on, back at the workshop. So I'm gonna have to see some of my dad's old acquaintances about that. Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure how
and I
much
was
I could help you
thinking,
in that aspect.
no. I'm saying, I know you're still on the research, and it kind of staggered a little bit when my pops left us.
That it did.
Um,
He was a very
but
intelligent man.
he was, and he had good ideas. So I'm wanting to move those ideas forward with you because I know that you cared about the work, and also you know that it can actually help people, and it can change lives. Um, So I'm just saying, as a cohort between you and me, uh, you can. Do you want to present that with me?
I had an idea, maybe to bridge this idea with the public in more of a appealing way and not so shocking,
Yeah.
if you'll hear me out.
No, that's completely fine, dude. This is a think tank. I
Come
want to be
inside.
able to
Let's
get this
sit
going.
down and talk.
Yeah.
He has you come inside.
Uh,
He has like a smaller house, on the edge of Seraphil, but it's
humble.
like a nice smaller house. He has money based on what he does. He has money to get what he wants, but he doesn't really want a bigger
What
house,
do I
especially
remember? What his
since
line of work was?
his line of work. He was
Yeah, I know he's
he
an alchemist. He's at least got some alchemical background. He probably understands that much.
yeah. He mainly did like alchemy in terms of like building constructs and the like.
Okay. So I might have. Ooh, I might actually ask his help on helping me put up the guild too, if he can. He's a
Um,
family friend.
but yeah, no, he has more of like a small, quaint, one-story house, just with like a very basic, smaller kitchen, but big enough for one person.
Yeah, no, it'll function.
As this house only houses him normally. It
Yeah,
looks like some of the books he has around the place are kind of scattered, as if something was placed
kind of
there in a
disheveled.
hurry or moved in a hurry or something for whatever reason. But he
I,
goes to sit at the circular table that he has in his living room, kind of close to his kitchen. He sits down and has a couple chairs there, and he gestures to you to sit down there as well.
yeah. I'll take a seat, and I'll if there's an extra seat or anything else, I'm gonna take my cane, set it down, and reach into my hip pouch, my bag,
Mm-hmm.
and pull out some of the notes. This is just for us to look over. I'm actually gonna leave these with you if you want to like look into them, study up. If you have anything to cross-examine from anything that you know. Ooh, that also reminds me. You were in the building field, right? Would it be possible for you to assist me in putting up the guild in a way that would not be a
Building
fucking mess?
field.
Yeah, construction.
I was more so building constructs.
Constructs.
Constructs,
Oh,
like
okay.
artificial life.
Yes,
or,
yes,
or
yes. I see what you mean.
vessels.
Well, still, another alchemist's helping hand would help me put the thing up. I do have a basic design, but
I'm sorry, but I don't really practice alchemy anymore. It's kind of got a strain on my body these days.
oh, had it redirect or
More
fizzle
often
out in
than
a
I
bad
would
way
like
on
to
you?
admit. It seems as I've been getting older, my proficiency with these circles haven't been very high.
Damn. Well, you still know what you know.
I do have
And
knowledge
you
and
would still
experience, but I can't really use it. Thankfully, my job
okay.
has placed me decently enough that I can choose to retire or do odd jobs here and there to make my way, and that's just fine by
Okay.
me.
What was this idea you pitch or that you're willing to
Ah,
pitch?
yes, the idea I had. Well, seeing as you know, human transmutation is quite shocking to the public because you're altering a human body. It's not
It's kind
supposed to
of
be done.
considered
Taboo.
wrong. Yeah.
I had a thought that maybe, especially after the war, with all these soldiers coming back and possibly having
They're
irreparable
all fucked up.
damage,
Yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about. I can already kind of see where you're
I
coming
was
from.
thinking
If
that we
I
could
do
try and branch in the direction of prosthetics first.
uh so it's
And
more of it's a softer, more warm turkey than just, hey
yes,
guys, I'm gonna regrow this guy's limb right here, right now,
so we could
which
mention
can also lead to failure.
maybe using human anatomy in order to make very accurate, I guess, prosthetics or what you may call it
I mean,
for each individual.
I
We could try and go that
actually
route.
hold on. I got an idea then. I mean, I could like synthesize human nerves, and you could use that with your a little bit of your making ability to like give them a real feel for their prosthesis, at least for a hot minute.
Do you think,
You know what I'm saying?
and this might be a long shot, do you think we could use your human transmutation with your building nerves and whatnot and try and connect it through an artificial construct, but just small enough to fit it onto their existing body?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? So if you wanted to make like a leg bit, say it was somebody who had their below the knee blown off, they still got a joint attached, but they still want to be able to wiggle their toes and have sensations in a sense of I can still feel it there. My foot, not foot. I could probably synthesize that. It wouldn't be terrible. I mean, I've picked at enough corpses.
There isn't anything to my knowledge that exists in this world thus far.
Well, yeah, no, and then it'd be an untapped market, which actually might be pretty fruitful for those who cannot afford heavy healing to regrow entire limbs. Because I know that's just not something that you just snap your fingers and get a hold of.
As for starting in the Research and Development Guild, I had a second recommendation. Whether or not the audit goes through or not isn't really important for this, but I would suggest pitching the idea, or at least sending it to the Diplomacy Guild. If they think it's good enough, or even if they don't, you could ask that they distribute that. It'll cost you some coin, but someone might pick it up.
What, the idea?
Yes, you could,
Or
advertise it to the Diplomacy Guild. That's, the center for all
I
mail.
see what you mean. Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. I was just kind of snagged up on what the putting out there would be. I get it now.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
But
Maybe
yeah,
I would be able to gather some like-minded folk by doing that.
might help with your guild. You could even send out advertisements for that if you wish.
Yeah.
Although, be very wary looking for adventurers or employees for your recent guild. As the new guilds are often prone to scams and plundering and thievery.
I like do like the not really I guess jazz hands with this glove. Well, this right here is my ticket out of that. I can read thoughts by touching people. So if I'm going to be hiring people, I can go through a very heavy scrutiny interview process that even if they are weird, I will rip through their subconscious and pull their worst thoughts out. And if they're at least not directed at the guild, but out of misfortune, then they'll be okay. So I can work through that. I'm not worried about scam.
Well, just be careful. It's not something I'd like to see. It wouldn't bode well for anyone joining either to even know that the guild was being targeted. It'd be a risk for them and possibly their family or friends.
Yeah, no. So that's really the hope, I guess. Is I'll take. I think we take it slow, and if we move gradually, we can get it all together and start strong.
Say,
Don't get
have you seen the recent development in the Research and Development Guild?
I was at the trials with your daughter for a bit there.
It's more so been a development in Serafel, but the Research and Development Guild caught on as always. But they actually aren't quite advanced as we are in this one.
What's up?
Since we Serafel or the individuals who created the idea technically have the rights to it, and they own this idea, it's sort of a patent. I'm not sure if they got one just yet, but the Research Development Guild haven't gotten everything yet. But I didn't hear much about it, but I did hear that there was quite an advancement in terms of. He kind of leans in closer to counter alchemy combat.
Oh boy! Wait,
so,
here?
Yes.
Oh well. I guess they're trying to find workarounds so that they can counter the counter. Seeing as this is the alchemy place.
No, if it's just me thinking, I think it's because Zidrosia here didn't exactly like alchemy taking them down in the heart, and it makes me uneasy.
No. Yeah, no. I feel like I don't really think the war ever ended.
If you look closely, it's
There's
still there.
Well, yeah, no, between countries, specifically the united forces that worked together during the war, and then Zidrosia just kind of being
with
pitchy about it.
Zalor's newest speech that he just did at the Heart, did you catch that?
Hope, and hope.
Right, as he does every year. But the main thing that shook the world was the fact that Zidrosia, as well as Anabreka, was welcomed in.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to work that out. How well known is that among other circles? The whole anti-alchemy thing.
Well, of course, it's
just
just rumors here and there from my friends that I have around here and colleagues, but it hasn't really reached too far. But it did manage to reach the Research and Development Guild. As I said before, I don't really know exactly what manner they're approaching, but it's been the talk of the town.
It sounds like a slippery slope if you take it to the diplomacy guilds and they say, oh, you have to share all your information and stuff. It might make them even more pissy. It's kind of tricky.
Well, there's also, you gotta be careful with that because the diplomacy guild can only go so far without it meaning they can't exactly harass an individual just for information.
Yes, no, because that's their whole deal is working together.
However, if they do have probable cause thinking that it might cause harm to others, they could, and with possibly a new weapon, or I don't know if it's armor of sorts, or a new type of magic.
Something. It's something. Whatever they have, it's not being shared, and it's kind of being held against, or as a deterrence. I guess I can look into that.
You could try, but knowing my colleagues and whatnot, they could have also added a little bit of flair, as rumors do.
No, yeah, they'll keep expanding and changing and warping. That's
the main
okay.
thing that really caught this whole thing ablaze was the fact that the Research and Development Guild decided not to make any mention of it at all.
They kind of kept it under wraps.
They kept it under wraps, and as you know, they're supposed to share their findings with the world via the Diplomacy Guild, and they have not yet.
Yeah. That's pretty shitty.
If I had to guess, they're trying to see if it's actually something new, if they need to share it. It has me uneasy.
Has me uneasy. I don't really like that, considering that I'm gonna be. I'm gonna try and work with those people if they're gonna be shitty about, I guess, what their main deal is, then that kind of muddies any relationships that they have with other people.
Giving them the
Because
benefit
then
of the
I'll come under
doubt,
scrutiny.
they could just be trying to optimize their time and everyone else's, and also trying to figure a way to stop whatever this is coming up if need be, but who knows?
Do you think it's worth even poking the bear with a stick? Or should we just be bystanders?
As of right now, I see it mostly as a rumor. Maybe just a mishap here and there. The only thing that does snag me as interesting is that the Research and Development Guild did catch on to it, so it has to be something of value at least.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess we'll work with this prosthesis idea. I like that.
I
I
guess
sit
we
up.
could. Yes.
Grab my cane. You can look over the notes. I'm gonna be in Serafel probably the rest of the day. If not, might find a way to stick around. If not, I'm just gonna go back home. Say, where's your daughter at? Where'd she go?
Say, she did mention she had to leave, but she didn't say where she was going. She just mentioned she was leaving. I thought she'd be heading towards the guild.
That's great.
Did
I'll
you
probably
not?
run into
You
her.
may have missed her on your way in. Serapho is quite big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go talk to my colleagues, and I guess I'll try and track her down.
You aren't one for
Hopefully she's
magic,
not.
are you? You did complete the trial. I just wanted to ask.
I mean, I'm neither for or against. I can just understand that there's
In
things that
terms
it
of
can
proficiency,
do and
my
it
boy.
can't. Oh, doing it? No, not really.
Well,
That's not the
a
direction I
simple
want to go.
sending spell could easily ask Caroline where she is, but maybe if you have some
I
spare
can't.
coin, you could buy one at a shop nearby.
I'm strapped. I got nothing.
The
The
guilds aren't
acquisition of
exactly
the
cheap.
guild. No, yeah, the acquisition of the guild and various other thing has kind of just left us strapped. So,
Before you do leave, I have a little bit of advice to mention to you in terms of guild management.
yeah.
Something they didn't exactly mention to you is taxes. They never do. Gotta be very wary
Okay.
about that. Depending on how big your guild is, you'll end up, being allotted into a
Accruing
different.
taxes.
You'll be in
That
different tax brackets, and you'll have to pay monthly for that. Depending
I'll
on
probably
how
pick that up.
many employees you have, how many permits you have, how much land you have, it can add up quickly. So just be careful before you dive in.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of on the outer fringe, and there's only really 4 of us right now. So our bracket's probably not that high. Would you know anything about that? Have any
I don't know the exact brackets,
writing on it?
no. I just do know that there are some brackets. I didn't exactly make or join a guild, actually, as I never did complete the trials. Saw no reason to in my line of work, especially during the war.
Scary shit. Yeah, no, it's scary shit. If you're not ready, then don't. It's not something you push.
It's a miracle that some on this earth can even complete that trial twice.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that. Obviously, rumors. I don't know anybody personally like that.
Nor do I.
Yeah, no, I'll ask around some of my dad's old connections, see what I can get going. Reigniting that sort of flame again, and I'll try and find your daughter, and yeah, we'll be where I've always been.
Right. You take care then, Milo.
Yeah, you too, Elias. I get up and walk out the door.
Alright, in that case, I'm gonna swap
Actually,
over to.
hold on.
Yeah, what's up?
As I as I walk by the bookcase, I'm gonna run my fingers along the bookcase, especially lingering on the ones that have been disheveled and moved.
Oh, it wasn't like on a bookcase.
Yeah.
It was like books scattered around his furniture.
Okay, that's fine. I'll still run my fingers along them as I walk by.
Could you roll me 3 insight rolls, please?
Let's go. Oh. All right, we're gonna see what I can reap. You better not be in a domestic dispute, or else. Insight. Boom. Can I have that turned up? All right, so that's kind of all right.
Ooh.
Much better.
Ooh.
Oh, immaculate.
My
It's
gosh.
better. I get better. I get better with time.
The general
15,
consensus you
24.
get, kind of like the emotions you feel from these books is not anger, but irritation and frustration.
Could I see the titles at the top of these books?
The titles are very vague, and they don't seem to be any like research type of titles. Some of them, like one of them is a cookbook, another one is just a regular storybook that he seems to be reading or was reading or someone was reading at some point. Another one is just a research book that he seems to have either jotted down notes in or someone else did a while ago.
Well, I'm not going to linger on them, not to arouse any suspicion as I walk out the door.
Alright.
When I'm gonna reach for the door and actually see if I can pull any emotion from our gone, not around Caroline, because I assume she took this door. Probably.
You may roll insight.
Let's see. What can I pull to learn?
I would
15.
like to make note that Elias was the one who opened the door most recently.
Yes, I'm trying to peel back behind that.
Alright, so what
If I
you get,
can.
you can't discern from who or where or whatever, but the emotions you get from this door seem to be almost upset in a melancholy type of way.
Frustration, sadness. Okay. I say, muttering to myself as I shut the door behind me. Wait, hold on. Did I even get that? You can change your POV. That's fine.
Okay. Alright, Gunnar. We're going to you in Ontridge. Gunnar, are you present? Hello?
Monkey.
Is he going?
Where is thou to monkey? I don't know. Yeah, no. That question wouldn't have flown. For I'm not the level.
He's dead.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, my bad. He messaged me. He DM'd me. He has to do something really quick. We'll flip to Caroline.
Okay.
I was like, where did he go? He didn't tell me anything. He did. He messaged me. I have streamer mode on.
Lies.
So...
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Caroline, wherever you were, you can either choose to skip that if you'd like to and do whatever else, or you can choose not to. I can tell you how everything went if you choose to skip it as well.
Do you think I should skip it?
It's up to you. I would do whatever you want to do. It's up to you.
You know what? For purposes of purpose, we're not going to spoil things, but yes, I would like to not skip this. Not skip it.
Not skip, so we're doing it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you arrive at the location you were heading to. And inside you don't hear much going on. Inside the lights are off, but it is also daytime, so you don't see any of the magical lights on or anything like that. But you did arrive perfectly fine. What do you want to do?
After peeking in the windows a little bit, not to be like creepy or anything, I'm gonna knock on the front door.
Can you roll a d20 for me, please?
It's nat 1. Oh, not far off.
So you hear some movement behind the door, but you wait about a couple minutes and no one does come to the door.
Can I knock on the door again and like speak up against the door? Hello?
You'll hear some footsteps get closer to the door, and you'll see someone off to the side poke their head like in the window and see you. You can't really see their facial expression, but they pop back in, and then you hear them walk over the door, and they slowly open it, so it's like halfway open, as you're greeted by your mother, Margaret. She kind of looks you up and down with a blank face. You can't really read it. You never really have been able to at times like this. Do you need something?
Is Varric and Viola here? Are they here right now?
are.
May I see them?
Can you roll a persuasion roll, please?
Where are you? Double threes.
Looks like you guys aren't having. Milo took all your luck, guys.
Damn.
Nah, I just manifested it. You guys just suck. Yep, that's right. Hate.
No, they're currently in school, I'm afraid.
I see.
Is there
I
anything
guess
else you needed?
sorry to bother you then. I'll be on my way.
If you need to see them, they will be back later. But we are busy, so keep the visit brief if you could.
Of course.
Right.
I'll be back later then.
We look forward to it. She gives you a smile and closes the door.
Yeesh. And I walk away.
All right then. So Milo, are you looking for Caroline?
Yeah. Forgot I was muted. I'm kind of looking for more of my dad's old connections and buddies, so I'm gonna probably stop at the church, or not church, a hospital or any sort of morgue first, because that's where we probably received our bodies that we've studied on.
Would have been the morgue.
Yeah. So I hit up the morgue and try and look for one of my dad's buddies.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll a d20.
That is fine.
Let's see if he's there.
I'm gonna summon him. 14. Meh.
He is not here.
Is there any sort of front desk lady?
At the morgue, there is not.
Okay. Any loose leaf paper? If not, I can just kind of make something that'll work.
Not like just lying around. No.
Hmm. Is there any other connections that my dad would have had in the time that he was alive or with me that I would have known?
Well, how about you think back a bit and roll me a history?
That's fine. Let's summon it. 3, 2, 1. 21. Give it to me.
So thinking back, you do remember one person. It wasn't exactly a very common colleague, so this might be a little far fetched. He is a colleague of Elias, though. He currently runs a like a little odd job alchemy place with like it's like a smaller hustle for him, and then his main thing that he does is research and his alchemical stuff.
Okay. Do I remember his little spot, his hole in the wall place?
I'd say you could find it. It's on like if you were to be on like the main square or the main strip of Seraphil, it'd be like a very small little stand that he has going, and he's only there like a couple days a week just to pay off this or buy an extra drink here and there.
Mm-mm. Okay. I'm gonna hit the main stretch, and all the while I'm walking over the place, I'm gonna keep my head on a swivel for Caroline.
Caroline, would you say you're around this area or no?
I would say probably.
Okay. After about like 20 minutes of walking through the strip trying to find the place, you do end up finding Caroline, as she's actually decently tall, compared to the people around her.
Hey, Caroline, where you been?
What? Oh,
That's
hey
right.
Milo.
Yeah. What's up?
Just walking around.
Well, I was trying to reach back out. We actually started the construction on the guild, and currently Gunner's in Ontridge. He's trying to look for work. Uh, yeah. I'm just trying to brief you a little bit more on it.
All right, cool.
Um, yeah. What's the plan? What's your plan?
I'm gonna stick around in Seraphil for a few more hours before heading back to the guild.
That's fine. I also got some business here, so I'll probably be heading back here soon after I gather a little bit more information. So yeah, if you want, we can go back together, and yeah, that's about it. I think we should probably look for some sort of side hustle in the meantime to get our money up, so we can continue to construct the guild.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I think that's probably our main objective. Also, your dad mentioned something along the lines of tax brackets for like employee counts, or I assume some sort of rate of income for guilds. So we're gonna have to stay. Yeah, keep that in mind when we expand. That's about it, though. Anyway, I shrug. Yeah, I'm gonna go visit a little hole in the wall spot here over here. One of yours and what used to be my dad's old colleagues and connections.
Mind if I join you?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right, I have some time to kill anyway.
Okay. Well, as we start walking, yeah. So your dad brought up a sort of business venture to kind of expand the idea using human transmutation. Period. And he mentions using prosthesis of any kind mixed with obviously any amount of human nerves, tissue. So a pseudo half and half prosthetic, I guess. So I might try to push that, and if I can get a relative patent on that, make money off of that, that could also buy our way towards more guild shit.
Hmm.
So that's probably the idea that I'm gonna push. But yeah, so we keep walking, and yeah,
You guys keep
that's about
walking until you kind of recognize the name, and you can assume this might be him, as his name isn't exactly a common one. Kind of nailed up on the top, um, and you can tell that this was done by hand, not by alchemy. On top of his stand, it says Iliac's odds and ends with it's like odds and apostrophe ends.
Yeah, odds and ends.
Yeah. You currently see just what appears to be a slightly older guy, maybe in his 40s, 50s. You can't really tell, middle aged. He seems to be rummaging through some of his stuff throughout his stall that he has. He's not currently attending it, but that's because no one's there.
I'm gonna silently walk up as quiet as I can get, and I'm gonna go, "Hey, old man," in a relatively undecipherable tone to kind of get his attention.
You know, it's not really kind to call someone you don't know old. I'm not that old.
Well, I think you know me quite well.
I think I would know if I. Wait, are you Hohenheim's kid?
Yeah, just
That's
finished the
where I
trial.
know you from. Oh, you finished the trial. So you're a sprout now,
Yes.
huh?
Yeah.
Little
Well, I
sprout.
was before. Yeah, no, I was little before, but anyway, I digress. I talked to Elias. I'm trying to get a kickstart more on um, anything towards human transportation, healing,
Hey,
stuff like that.
don't
Like,
don't talk about that in
yeah,
public.
yeah.
Just some funny jokes among friends, right?
Yeah, no, it's a funny joke. I'm a morbid guy. I do dark humor.
Yeah, no. Anyone doing that type of stuff would be like, surely they ought to be punished for
A
that.
monster.
Yes,
A
yes.
horrible monster. I'm gonna walk past his stand a little bit over to his stuff, and I'm gonna like lean my head over to him. Hey, do you know anything weird going on in the R&D department? Apparently, there's some stuff getting shook up about something or other.
Like what?
Some talk. I don't know. Elias told me about the talk of some anti-alchemy equipment or something like that. I'm gonna brush his arm, kind of pantomiming some weird like evil fingers. Ooh, that type of gesture. So I don't know. It seems kind of, I don't know, malicious. Maybe
Roll
not
insight, please.
malicious. Yeah. I touch your dudes. On random. 10. Getting worse at worse, and also my contact time was
You
probably low.
sense a little bit of worry that it's receding. Um, Maybe possibly at your comment you made earlier or something like that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's a lot of curiosity.
So you haven't heard of none of this?
I don't think I have. It
I thought
doesn't
I thought
sound
you were the
familiar.
research guy. When's the last time you made a posting to the R&D department? The guild up there.
Years ago.
Years ago.
I mainly just do my own research and, odds and ends, as the name suggests.
What research have you been doing recently? I'm not here to poach your work. You know what my MO is.
Good, because Iliac's odds and ends ain't hiring.
No.
Well, I mean, I haven't really been doing anything worthwhile. It's more so been a hobby of mine than a job.
Say I know that you knew my dad, but do you know wherever the hell Gary the morgue guy is?
Gary?
You know Gary? Gary, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't really know his work schedule. Is it not the morgue? That's where I'd check first.
No, I already went to the morgue. He wasn't there.
Oh, you went to the morgue.
What day is it, by the way? Sir
What day?
DM.
It's Thursday, bro.
Thursday. I mean, it's not a very active job. People aren't just dropping dead all the time.
Maybe he's not called in.
Maybe not. Damn, I don't. Can
What
I
if you
try to
need-
remember where Gary lived?
You may.
It's probably gonna be a difficult one. Ooh.
Yeah, you
Poop.
don't really remember where he's at.
Well, anyway.
Why did you need to see
I was
Gary?
also
Is something wrong?
no, nothing wrong. I was just gonna reach out to my dad's old work. Uh, I was gonna get that started up again because I just I just sent out an audit for the R&D people at the guild, and that's when I heard of the rumor. I don't know much about the rumor. I've been kind of sniffing around to see if it's true, malicious, scary. Should I be worried?
Say, is
Considering I'm
that
just gonna
Miss
be.
Wills you have with you?
Yeah.
This whole time, I've
uh,
been staring off into space, like looking around.
I like moved to the side, and
I'm still not paying attention at this moment.
hey, Caroline, and I like snap my fingers.
What?
I mean, this is an open conversation. You can join if you want. What's
No,
wrong?
I'm not interested.
Spacey? Okay.
You've been doing all right, Miss Wells?
I've been doing just fine. Thanks for asking.
It's been a while since I've seen you around here. You know,
Yeah,
I've had talks with Elias. He misses you and cares for you, you know.
I know.
He gives a sheepish smile as he, more of like an awkward smile as he turns to Milo. What were you
turned.
saying
Yeah.
about the whole thing
Hold
with
on.
Gary?
Yeah. I was gonna try to find out where he was, just to kind of kickstart what the arrangement that him and my dad had going for a while there. I turned back to Caroline a second. Have you guys been fighting or something?
No,
Like
why?
again? Just a slight inclination, just a thought. Uh, I mean, weren't you just there?
Yeah, it was pleasant.
Whatever. I don't know. He kind of gave me a feeling that it wasn't pleasant, or maybe it was but wasn't. Whatever. I just shake my head. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just came to stop by, see what's up.
It's been quite a time
Try.
since I've seen either of you two. It's what are you up to these days? You're a sprout now. Is Miss Wells too?
Yeah. No, we just solved that. We just ran through the trials the
Oh,
other
you did
day,
together.
yesterday. Yeah.
Did you find a full party?
Yeah, no. Good
Oh,
people.
wow.
We're actually guilding up, you know. We started our own guild
I
back
heard that's
where
kind of what sprouts do.
yeah, most of the time. Sometimes they just shack up with another guild, but I'd rather not be shackled down to,
Yeah, it's
whatever
been quite some
job.
time. It's I've heard rumors of the trials getting harder and harder. I don't exactly know if that's true. Since I did it, it doesn't seem to be any harder.
I kind of shake my head back and forth. I wouldn't be able to say I didn't have previous knowledge. The only thing that I'm kind of thinking on is, say, when did you go in there? Did you go in there during like the season of the whatever and such, the sprout season, like this right here
Yeah,
time?
yeah. Being so close to the heart, I figured I would.
Yeah. Did you, when leaving the trial, did you run into anything weird, like
If you're talking about
unnatural or?
the interruptions or whatever that was mentioned in the speech at the heart, no, I didn't have those.
Really? We got, before we left, we kind of got stopped by a guy, or not a guy, a being, let's say.
A being?
Who-
What do you on
Yeah,
about?
He's
I
mentioning
wouldn't
a
say they're.
dragon.
Wait, a dragon? Like, are we talking a full size dragon?
I don't think it was. I don't know if it was a dragon or not, Caroline.
Well,
I mean,
there's a lot of things that are and aren't a dragon. It's kind of hard to tell whether it is or not.
That, or
We
it was one of those draconic Rexiles or volcanic Rexiles.
Well, no, we did one of those already. We ran into one of those actually for the trial,
Maybe.
but it was a little test. No, don't worry about it. It was less of test of strength and test of wits, because you wouldn't win in a straight on engagement. That's not what we're talking about though. No, we sunk down into this blackish, inkish environment, and an eye that was like pretty much the size of all of us at our level started whining about this or that, about the misuse of the tree. He said his name is Nalfarix, and he's gonna come. Him and his elder council are gonna come back and take the tree. I'm not trying to sound mocking, but it was a little bit far fetched because obviously I'm a sprout. I don't know anything.
You guys report
So I brought it
that
up.
to the Diplomacy Guild?
Yeah, no, I did. I pre-fired that almost immediately. I wanted to talk to the aficionado of the announcer guy that goes, "Hey, welcome to the arena. Hey, welcome back. You lived."
They still have him.
Yeah, no, annoying. Also, he's a total tool. He doesn't. I told him about that. He's like, "Oh, it happens all the time. Don't worry." I think it's pretty alarming. I don't know about you.
He hasn't been in
If
the
I have two
trial
eyes,
ever. He's been there since I did the trials.
what a dumbass.
I think they just
Anyway.
needed someone who's has enough energy to maintain that all day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. But I digress. I brought it up with I threw that right through the Democratic Guild, and they had like a statement box, off to the side, and yeah, they said they'd reach out if whatever they wanted more information about it. They'd probably send it to me via mail or get it to me somehow.
They'd
But,
probably send it with mail.
yeah.
If they were gonna send it, it probably would have been in today's mail. If it was being soon, that is, because usually we only get mail once a week.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting. I find it interesting that you haven't seen it. I don't know. I guess this is actually a pretty good talk. But do you remember any of my other dad's old friends that are still in the neighborhood? Anybody that moved out?
Unfortunately,
around?
no. After your dad died, there wasn't a lot of drive to continue his work.
Yeah.
It kind of
No,
drove all
but,
of us away from it, me included.
Do they all just scatter to the winds, or have you heard hide nor hair of them
I
at all?
haven't really heard much besides, Elias. Me and him are pretty much the only ones here in Seraphill that actually stayed in touch.
Damn.
I mean, you mentioned
I guess I'll put out
Gary.
an advertisement.
He's kind of an odd one. He hasn't. We don't really know what's
you
going
hang
on
around.
with Gary.
You hang around dead bodies all day, you're probably weird. I mean, I'm kind of weird. My dad was kind of weird. But if you do it as a job, like I just log people and throw their cold bodies in cold storage, and that's all we worry about. We don't worry about nothing after. You're probably kind of weird, but that's okay, because Gary was a good lad, and he is a good lad. I just wanted to reach out to see what was going on with that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of it's been a lot of ups and downs with the group, I would say.
Yeah, I'll probably put out an advertisement. I can throw my last name in the ring. It's not really a normal last name, and hopefully somebody will see it through the Democracy Guild or something along that note, and they might reach out.
I would be careful throwing your name out there.
That being, I mean, Elias told me the same thing, and I'm not doing it in a foolhardy note. So what's the danger? Because he kind of just said, "Hey, be careful." Is there like a huge line of scammers or other people coming around?
It's you throw your name out there, everyone's got your name. That's all I'm saying.
I don't really mind. Everyone's gonna know my name sooner or later.
Is that right?
Something like that. Start unlike other sprouts, how they're gonna fizzle. We're gonna go places. We gotta, because I've got things to do.
You guys planning on entering any dungeons? Is that your thing or no?
I mean, I've got no qualms with that.
I mean,
Hell,
Caroline looks like she can fight a bit better than you can. No offense.
well, okay, buddy. Yeah, I have a cane. Yeah, blame the guy with the limp for not being able to fight.
I'm just
No,
saying,
but
if I saw some guy with a cane and her, I'm betting on
no,
her.
it's just yeah, no, it's disarming. You know, I'm more of I'm a lover, not a fighter. But to be a lover, you have to fight for what you love. So,
Well said, I guess. Alchemy can only take you
yeah,
so far.
no, it definitely can. But I'm hoping to open. It's relatively open ended. So I'm hoping that if we get involved in stuff like that, we can it can be a use case for my father's research. Obviously, within reason. Not just gonna go swinging alchemy willy nilly. But yeah, no. I'll probably try to reach out to Gary before I get gone. Yeah. No, good talk. I definitely need to reassemble this network of like-minded folk so that I can
I mean,
get the
with
gravy
the
train
same
rolling on
name
the
as him,
research.
you might just be able to do it. Elias seemed to be the one mainly contributing to that. Secondly, to your father.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the
I
work
was
was
more.
good. The ideas were there, but it's just
There was no application because it's kind of hard to apply it to a world that doesn't want it. Which, actually, I don't know. Actually, no, this is a great idea. Okay, I have an idea. How's business?
business is it's fine. I mean, we're in Serapho. It's pretty good.
Say, what's the like veteran community like here? Because Elias
Veteran from
pitched
the war.
prosthesis. Yes.
Well, a lot of alchemists are here, so I mean, you can imagine that a lot of the alchemists towards the end of the Heartless War settled here. That's where they came from.
Yeah. I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase, not beat around the bush. Would you like to peddle our wares once we get that going? Elias mentioned, obviously, he's still into the whole constructs dig, like that whole shtick. He was mentioning making prosthesis, and I could lace them in with synthesized human nerves to give them a real feel in terms of like an almost biotic limb that we could peddle and sell to the folks so they can get a limb back. So I can also start pushing the idea of using actual human parts in things. You know.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't
Well,
know.
you're the seller guy. You don't think it'll fly or get off the ground?
It's not that. It's just I don't know if I don't know if I want to have my toes in that water anymore.
Okay,
You know,
that's fine.
I'm getting older.
Yeah, you're trying to quiet down and kind of have a quiet life with no more razzing or
I'm planning on
any sort
moving
of
actually.
controversy. Really?
Me and my family,
Or
we don't feel comfortable here
just
anymore.
tensions rising,
Yeah,
or tensions that have never not or never settled.
yeah, we plan on moving to
And
actually quite a bit of a different place from here. We were thinking maybe Zuvali, but that's a little bit too crowded. So we were between maybe if we wanted to go to Croton, or south of the Heart, or
yeah,
maybe Viago or the Mire, maybe even. We're
maybe.
still deciding based on movement and everything else we have to do.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. Hey man, do whatever you need to do to live your life, man.
If I
But
hear anything about Gary or what you mentioned, the rumors and whatnot, I'll talk to you or
yeah, no. Reach to Elias if you can't reach me. I'm actually trying to start something up again between me and him to get it going and off the floor this time. The potential audit from the R&D department's in a month. If we can put together good information and also pick up some sort of a following here then I think that there's a good chance we can get it off the ground because people are really opening their minds these days.
Yeah, I think it could definitely gain some traction. In a place like this with progress and inventions being made, it definitely would stand out.
Yeah, no. Anyway, dude, I'll let you go. Let you peddle your wares and live your quiet life.
Yeah,
I'm
best
gonna
of
go try
luck
to
with
find Gary.
your whatever you got going on.
Yeah, whatever. It's kind of a whatever now. It'll be something eventually. Anyway, I tip my head and I turn around and start walking away.
Caroline also has already walked away.
Oh. I'm gonna turn back to him. Hey, did you see where she went?
No, I saw her leave, but I don't know where she went.
Ah, that woman. I swear. Whatever. I guess I gotta babysit too. That's fine.
What do you guys plan to
I'm
do
gonna.
now?
Well, I'm gonna try to find a hide nor hair of Gary.
And what have you,
Might
Caroline?
reapproach.
I'm going to wait out a little bit of time before the school day ends, and then I'm going to go back.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, we could do a little bit of time skip here. A couple
Okay.
hours to get things done.
Just me looking around aimlessly for Gary. I'm probably gonna go back to the morgue and see if I can pick up any trail of where he was within the morgue. If there's like a board of a schedule, you know, even if I'm kind of snooping and people are gonna be like, anyway, whatever. I don't care. I'm trying to reach out to a family friend that has been an acquaintance for a while, and I don't know where to find him. I knew where he worked previously.
Alright, so about 3 hours pass as you do this. I'm gonna start with Caroline. Caroline, you head back to the house.
Chill.
And you actually catch them as they're like heading into the building.
Sweet. Hey.
You'll see Margaret look to you and give the same look she always does, and she'll look
Yeah.
down to the kids and be like, "Look look who's here. You want to say hi?" The kids look to you, and Viola comes just walking up to you, and she has something in her hand, like cupped in her hand. Um, did you say it was Varric and Viola?
Eric and Viola.
Right. Just want to make sure. Varric is like unpacking his backpack right now. It's right at the doorstep. What are their ages? As of right now?
Varric would be like, I would say, probably 8. Yeah, that makes sense because I'm 28. And Viola would be 4.
Okay.
She's little.
Yeah. So Viola comes walking up to you with something in her hand, and she holds it up to you. It's kind of like cupped in her hand. Varric is like unpacking his bag.
What is Viola holding? I've held up my hand.
She opens her hand, and then like a little butterfly just flies out of it. And then the butterfly like disappears, and in like this bluish magical dust. And then she laughs and smiles after she did that. Her hands slightly glowing with the magic she just cast.
Oh, already? I didn't know you would be showing signs of magic already.
She nods at you, kind of looking up at you, and she babbles a little bit before Varric comes over. Um, he has a like a weapon in hand. It appears to be like a sword. He walks over and he starts swinging it, and he even starts hitting you a little bit with it, pretending to be what appears to be a knight of some sort or an adventurer, one of the two.
I'll sort of play around with them for just a little bit before giving them both each of a hug, and then I'll say to Varric, "Take care of your sister, okay? I'll be back hopefully in a few weeks to come back and see you again. Oh, and I have gifts for both of you."
Their eyes glow as they look around for these gifts at you. They're looking over and seeing what you have.
I am going to like stand up straight and look to Margaret, and I'm going to cough up 10 gold pieces.
Each, or just 10 to share between the two.
10 to share between the both of them.
Verica says something. Wow, you're. Is this gold
It is. It's so you can
for
get something
us?
special that you want.
Really?
Of course.
Thank you. He kind of gives you a hug, and Viola does as well, but she doesn't seem to understand as much. I'll make sure I protect her. You know I'm a good knight, don't you?
I know you are.
Or maybe I want to be an
Margaret.
adventurer.
Whatever you decide, and I'll ruffle his hair.
I haven't decided yet.
Margaret,
Yes.
I give you this money for them. Spend it how you think they deserve and need. This is some help. Just, I know you don't need it. I know you didn't ask for it, but this is a gift from me for them.
How much gold are you giving her?
I'm giving her also 5.
So it's
So
each of them. You
I've
gave each
handed
of them
out
5?
each of them
So
5.
15. Right? You 15, right?
15, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to verify.
Yep, I already
Oh,
took it out of my stuff.
uh, thank you. I thank you.
I should be off now. You are very busy.
Yes, we have an event to go to. I have to clean them up and get them ready.
You do so. I give them both one more hug before saying my goodbyes and leaving back to the guild.
You hear Margaret mutter something under her breath. It doesn't seem to be of malicious intent that you can tell.
I don't even want to hear. She has something to mutter. That's none of my business.
It didn't seem to be malicious. That's all you could pick up. And she ushers the kids inside, closing the door, giving one last look at you with a slight smile before she closes the door. With that, are you off to the guild?
Off to the guild I go.
All right. In that case, as for Milo, could you roll me an investigation roll? You're gonna Scooby
Let's
Doo this.
investigate. We're gonna no splitting up because I'm me. 8. Pretty poopy. I'm not a investigator.
Yeah, after several hours, the only thing that you could
No,
really get out of it is that Gary occasionally works at the morgue, usually on the weekends.
interesting.
But that's only if he's needed.
Huh. Is there anybody currently an attendee at the morgue?
No, no one's there, at least to the parts that you can get in that aren't locked.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my organic transmutation circle and use stone shape on it to mold it into like a little stone tablet.
Mm-hmm.
um, with a message, and I'm just gonna go something along the lines of, "Hey, message. This is a message for Gary. It's Hohenheim's brat. Still live where I used to be. Gotta talk about. I've got to talk to you about something. Reach out to Elias if you need to talk to me, or I'll be back here on the weekend."
All right.
Almost conversationally, as if I was saying it
Where are you gonna put it?
with hmm. Is there like a bulletin board? Anything?
Um. Yeah. There'd be like a bulletin board with maybe some posters or flyers of random advertisements, maybe some news,
Um,
etc.
I'm going to stone shape like a hole on top of it for attack, and then I'm gonna turn a corner of the stone into attack using stone shape, and I'm gonna put the attack through the stone plates up against the bulletin,
All right then.
and I'm gonna head home because it didn't work out. But yeah,
On your way out, you do catch Caroline.
hey, yeah, we're gonna have to swing by Ontridge, pick up Gunner, see what he managed to sniff out.
All right.
All right.
What time is it?
At this
About?
moment, we are going to take an intermission. One, because Gunner's almost back, and I don't really want to continue without him.
Yeah,
Two,
no, that's
because
fine.
it's just about that time, anyways. We usually do it at the 2 hour mark in terms of the stream. So we're gonna take our intermission, which is anywhere from 5 to like 15-ish minutes, to go to the bathroom, grab
Yeah.
snacks, etc., and then we'll be right back.
Get three,
Yep.
two, one, team. Right.
And we are back. So
Alright.
Gunnar has returned. So currently Caroline and Milo are kind of traveling. You guys are traveling back to the guild, right?
Yep, we're gonna hit through Entourage on the way back to pick up Gunner.
All right. So now we're gonna do the whole time that they were in Serafel. They did their thing. Now we're gonna do the whole thing that Gunnar was up to. So Gunnar, you were looking for work or some type of off job or whatever you could find in Ontridge to make some money, right?
Yes.
Could you roll me an investigation roll?
Shoot. Right there. Bruh. It's an 8.
Well, just going through the village, it doesn't look like a lot of people really need help with any of the manual labor that Milo mentioned earlier. However, you did manage to find in one of the taverns, as is very common, you found a smaller quest board filled with some quests. All these quests
like to
are
take
for
a look.
bronze level adventurers, which you guys are currently bronze level.
Okay. I would like to take a look then.
All right, so you see a few that are asking for, like, one of them is asking for the clearing of a nearby dungeon. Another one is asking for like help with what appears to be some type of infection or plague or some sort of thing going around in someone's fields of crops. Another one is they need help hunting down an individual. They didn't give any details why, but it didn't sound like they were trying to find a missing person, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
There's a lot of odd jobs like that.
Did you mention one about a field?
Yeah, one of them is this farmer has detailed that his field, his field of crops and whatnot, seems to be infested with something or plagued with magic or something, and he can't seem to grow anything and hasn't been able to for months. So he just wants someone to help him with that, is what that quest is. There's also like another quest is to just deliver goods from Serafel to Erner Bayor. They need like a trade to be done, but they don't want to pay to have it shipped on like one of the ships and whatnot.
Out of character, is the etiquette here like would you like like as in like if you're claiming a quest, would you take the paper or would you just like remember it?
Well, roll history to see if you remember in your time up north.
Right there.
You think you take it?
All right. You know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna ask: Is there a barkeep?
Yes.
Sir. If I want a quest, do I just like take it off of the board?
Yeah,
How you do that?
you can just take
Alright.
whatever you want up there. It's not really exactly my deal. It's just kind of I have it up there for people to put their wants and desires up there, and reward you folk with it, I guess.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't mess up any etiquette or something.
Yeah, it should be perfect for you, judging by your lack of knowledge. You're probably a bronze adventurer.
Yep.
Yeah, in that case, then you can definitely take those. Some of them are a little bit harder, but judging by you look like a sprout, judging by that, you should be fine.
All right.
Just don't take all of them.
I wasn't planning on
it. Not like you could handle all of them, but I've seen people.
Yep, some people want to hoard money from other people.
Well, some people, scalpers, they'll take the quest and then have you do it, except they'll take about, say, 50% of the profit.
Yep, that makes sense.
And those people aren't seen the next day, if you catch my drift.
Yep.
Say, you looking for a drink or just looking for the quests?
I'm just looking for quests.
Ah, figures.
Starting up a guild ain't cheap.
Really? A guild? Sprout starting up a guild? This is...
Yeah, we didn't think that we would fit into the big time guilds. Wanted something more personal
I mean,
between
I
us.
can see the appeal. I mean, here I decided to have my own little tavern here in Ontridge, but a guild is on a whole nother level. What kind of...
Yeah,
You got any
well,
plans for that guild?
well, we're just starting off. I've run a couple businesses in my time, so I'm taking care of the finances and other stuff. Just trying to get it started, get us on our feet.
Hey, you need a barkeep or anything? Just throw me a few coins, and I might just be willing to work for you. Given that you've gotten yourself off the ground, of course.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
Ontridge, really the main reason I'm here. I live nearby, but business isn't great, but it's not bad. It's more of a traveling town, as you can imagine. So being up,
Yeah.
uh, out of Ontridge might be a little nice. Where exactly are you located? I would imagine around the area.
We're actually just north of Ontridge, south of the guild.
Really? Well, that would put
Yeah,
you.
we're right off the road.
Well, I'll be damned. That's like right at the intersection.
Yeah,
Say, do
it's
keep in touch
it's a
with
pretty
that.
good place to land.
Sounds pretty good for any
Yeah.
passerby.
Yeah, we actually made a deal with a dwarf for him to put a stand out for his wares outside of our guild.
You catch his name? I'd imagine.
I forgot.
Roll history.
All right.
It's me.
History right there.
His name is Ern. Like URN.
Earn.
Well,
Was
it's
Earn.
technically spelled URNN. But
Yeah. The guy's name was Earn.
I was wondering if it was the same guy I know, but no, it's not. I have a frequent trader I go up there occasionally, have a couple drinks with. It's not him though. Just wanted to see. I can expect you guys are trying to get money for the guild then.
Yeah, we got some resources by making a deal with him, and we're just trying to build
Damn,
up
you struck
our.
up a deal that fast with him.
Yep. We
Not to be
well, I mean,
stereotypical, but dwarves aren't exactly known for their kind, welcoming behavior.
well, we made a deal. Well, my adopted son made a deal that apparently he couldn't refuse.
I mean, I guess they would be swayed by deals, possibly by the chance of riches. Well, you go on ahead and look at those quests. If you need anything else, just ask me. And like I
I
said,
appreciate it.
I wouldn't mind possibly being a part of that guild of yours for a couple of coin.
Well, once I make some coin, I'll talk with the others and put in a good word for you.
Good to know. Thank you.
I look back at the quest board, and I would like to look at the where is the dungeon located in relation to here?
It says it's roughly.
If it says
It says it's to the east of Ontridge, and to the south of Ionis. Somewhere in that area.
like some in this area.
Somewhere in that area, yeah. They didn't have any exact depictions, but they said like south of the path. So south of the path, east to from Ontridge, south of Ionis. They didn't really detail
Will,
much about the dungeon either. They just mentioned that it was causing them some trouble, as a lot of the people that they were trying to trade with were getting scared off by the dungeon and any creatures seeping out of it, which so far haven't been much. But it appears that it hasn't been dealt with by the Adventurers Guild yet because it hasn't been causing any problems, or it hasn't been discovered by the Explorers Guild yet. So it must be relatively new.
All right. Well, I am going to take the dungeon quest. I would like to take the farmer's quest, and I would also like to take the delivery to Erner Bayor quest.
Gotcha. By the way, for future reference, the name of this tavern is the Rusty Boar.
A rusty boar.
Yep. All right.
All right.
If you could write some notes down somewhere to remember which ones you just took.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a quest section on my sheet.
Well, there you go. You can write those down.
East of.
Is Gunnar planning on? Are you planning on looking throughout the village for any more work?
No. I think I'm going to go to the farm. That's in Ontridge, right?
No.
No. Oh, is it outside?
It's outside of Ontridge, yes.
South, east, west, north.
It's to the south of Ontridge. Quite a ways.
There, roughly.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
All right. I will head there first.
All right. You head down there, and you're kind of met with this little path that goes off from the main path. And if you go down through that, you're met with this smaller farm that has just what appears to be several smaller gardens. I'd say about 4 or 5 plots, respectively, around the place, with a decently put together barn and then a smaller house on the property as well. No one is in sight currently, so no one's outside.
Well, I guess I will go up to the door of the house and knock.
Shortly after, you'll hear someone walking inside on the wooden floorboards, and the door opens, and you're met with a younger gentleman. He looks to be about in his 20s, so he's very young for a farmer. Oh, hello. Did you need something?
Were you the one who put up a tavern quest about your farm having issues?
Oh, yes. Are you here to help with that?
If I can.
Oh my gosh, yes. At least someone trying would be great. I put it up last month and still haven't had any luck. I've been trying to contact people, but any expensive professional work, I don't have the coin for that. And seeing as my livelihood is currently being, threatened, I can't exactly have that. I've had to be doing small odd jobs from the surrounding towns to even make by. But yeah, I'll take you around. Come here. He'll like slip on these shoes he has by the door, and then he'll walk you over to these plots that he has, which he has pretty well constructed. Very symmetrical as well, like oddly symmetrical. All of them. And now that you see his plots, you actually notice that all the buildings on the property are like really symmetrical for some reason. Like nothing is not centered. And
Hmm.
stuff like that. But it brings you around to the garden, and you can instantaneously see all of these smaller black things crawling around in the soil and on the leaves and whatnot, and the plants and the crops. But the crops don't seem to be getting eaten or anything, or even being wilted. So he shows you these. Yeah, I've been having a problem with these. They're not exactly insects, as I tried to kill them the traditional way, um, but they're not eating it. They're not. They're just halting the growth of the plant. And whenever I try to manually remove them, either more fill their place, or they actually end up hurting me, which feel like bites, but they don't really leave anything on my skin, like any bite marks. It definitely hurts though.
Hmm.
I've never even seen creatures like this before.
So they pain, but you don't actually have any marks afterwards. So
Yeah,
they
it's
just give
weird.
you the feeling of pain.
Yeah, and it's halting the growth of my crops, and I can't harvest them if they're stuck on there, and I can't remove them because, like I said, they keep coming back, or they hurt me.
Hmm.
You
Uh,
got anything that
well,
might help?
well, let's see here. They live on your plants, but they're not eating them. They're just living on them.
It, I mean, they're not exactly insects either, though.
Well, yeah,
But I
whatever these
guess
creatures
whatever
are.
they are, they're on it, and they don't like me disturbing them.
Hmm. Let me see if I can maybe come up with something here. So,
I mean, yeah, and anything to help is fine. At this point, I've contemplated just burning down the entirety of it and starting anew, but I'm worried that these guys will just stay in the soil. And in that case, I'd have to move everything, and I don't have the money for that.
what have you tried to get rid of them?
Well, I've tried. The first thing I tried was trying to dump a bunch of water on them. At first, it was accidental as I was watering my crops, but then I tried dumping some more to see if they would wash away, and they didn't. I tried waving a flame at them as I had like a candle, and I lit a small piece of a stick, and they didn't really react to the flame either. Uh, I tried beating them with said stick after I extinguished it. They didn't really react to that either.
So you said they live in the soil, right?
They're in the soil and on the crops, yeah. Which is why I'm worried. Even if I was to burn all of them down, yeah, I don't think it'd really help.
Let me try something here. I'm going to put my hand on the ground, and I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy. And I'm going to cause tremors in the ground around my hand into the crop area and try to cause as many bursts as possible within my minute of use.
You do so, and they just kind of move around a little bit and scurry a little bit, but they don't disperse or run away.
Hmm. Have you seen any animals interact with these creatures?
No, I make sure to keep all animals off my property for a reason. I don't have any livestock either. As of right now, that
Maybe,
is.
well,
I'm
have you seen
saving
any
for.
birds? Maybe any birds eating them?
I haven't really seen anything like that.
Hmm. Aw.
Like I said, I don't know what to do about it.
Um, if you have something like a torch again, I know you said fire didn't work, but I can test something out.
Okay. I'll be right back. He goes inside and comes out with a candle, and he uses the candle to light a stick on fire, and he hands it to you.
All right. I'm going to use thaumaturgy once again, and I'm going to change the fire to multiple different colors. I'm going to
What does
start
it
with
look like when you
bright red.
cast your magic?
Uh, well, when I cast it, it's a cantrip. So
Mhm.
as I'm speaking, I have my hand out towards my torch, and eventually you just see a little flash, and then the color of the torch will just snap into a bright red, and then I will see how the bugs react.
Are you increasing the? Are you like brightening the flame?
Yes, I would like to change colors and brighten.
Okay, okay. You see some of the little creatures actually scurry back from this flame.
If I stick it closer to them,
They separate.
aha! What happens if I change it to green?
If you change it to green, they move back.
Okay, so I'm going to change it back to a bright red.
As you do so, they run away.
All right, I'm going to take out one of my torches, light it on my current torch, and then also change it to another red, and hand it to the farmer. And have both of us together try to force them out of the field.
All right, roll a d20.
Da-da-da.
All right, you guys continue to do this for hours upon hours. Takes you about 3 hours to do this, but you eventually clear all the crop plots of these creatures. Um, if you attempted to try any other colors, they did not work. Just the red one worked. You see them like scurry off, and then occasionally you'll see them in the distance. But whenever they see you with your flame, they just back off. The crops appear to be untouched.
Okay. Well, we cleared them. The thing is we need to find a way to keep them from coming back.
Yeah, I'm glad we got them gone, but I don't know why they're still here. They don't like that red flame.
Hmm.
And I can't exactly just have red flames all over.
Well, if you have a lantern, I know that I
You know,
think there's a.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea. You stay here. He heads inside,
All right.
and then after a couple seconds, he comes out with like a box of tools, and he sets it down next to you, and then he heads into his little barn area, and he comes out with these reddish shingles he has, and he comes out with like a lot of these shingles. You know, I was gonna use this to remodel my house, but maybe if we line this around my crop plots, they might stay away.
Sounds like that could work. I really hate
Roughly,
red.
each of these shingles, you can put 10 per plot, and 5 would be the middle. So if we put maybe a second one there, for it to be centered and whatnot, we could do that for each one, and then I could put nails up the center as well. I think they'd look pretty good, and then be on the top as well to go along with that centeredness.
Yeah.
Maybe I could put it to 45 or maybe a 43. Uh, you got that right? All right.
45 or 43.
Try it on the other
And
side.
5.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll do it on this side.
All right.
You see that he pulls out his bag and he hands you a hammer and like some nails and stuff, and some shingles and whatever else you need that he has. And you notice he's really good at building, like really good, oddly good, and he's really fast at it. Is mainly why he's good, but he does so with like precision, and every single nail he hits it once and it just goes right in, exactly where he wants it. Um, some of them he's even hitting before they are even like fully placed on the spot he wants, and they just go right in where he wants. So you guys do that. It takes you about an hour to go all the way around everything. Um, the creatures seem to have dispersed and completely disappeared.
Oh,
Well, that
I'm not
was
seeing the guys anywhere.
I don't know why they don't like the color red, but I guess it worked.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a predator that's red. You think?
I mean, that would make sense as to why they hate the color red.
I don't know. I'm just glad it worked. Hopefully it stays this way. My crops aren't harmed at all. I'll make sure to double check that, see if they're infested or anything. But here,
Yeah.
I'll take those things back from you, and it looks like you messed up a little bit on your side, but that's okay. He puts it back. And puts the stuff back and comes out with a small bag. And he kind of dumps it out in his hand and counts the coins, and he hands you 25 gold pieces.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's not much for your time, but it's as much as I could afford.
It's okay. I appreciate it. I like helping other people out.
Yeah, you just have to go buy yourself something, or I don't know. I appreciate it. I'll think of you as I grow these crops. Maybe I'll send you some if you stop by. That is.
Well, I'm starting up a guild north of Ontridge and south of the R&D guild.
Maybe I'll swing by and we can do a little bit of trading.
If you ever got any extra crops that you need to get rid of, we'll gladly take some.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. What was your name?
I'm Gunner.
Gunnar. Nice to meet
Fleetwood.
you. I'll see you
Nice to
around. Hopefully. Try not to get yourself killed. It's not exactly a nice time out here when it's dark. If I had to imagine, these guys showed up in the dark, but they stayed for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be on my way
I'll
now.
keep that.
You have good travels.
Yep.
He waves
Thank
at
you.
you as you
Have a good
leave, and he kind of continues to fix some of the areas that you did, even though you thought you did perfectly fine. He straightens certain things and changes them this way or that way. On your way up north out of this area, you actually bump into Milo and Caroline, funnily enough, as they're traveling on the road.
Oh, hey. Any luck?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Any luck?
You know, I grabbed 3 quests, and I didn't know how long the one I just did would take, but it took me how long's it been since we separated?
No, not
4
but like
hours?
it's not that long.
I think it's been about 4 hours. Well, I got 25 gold pieces, and also I helped him out. I helped a guy get some pests off his farm, and they wouldn't leave unless the color red was around. Funnily enough,
Can I try to drudge up color red, you said? And what were they?
they were like these
Pests, so like
black little. They're like tiny black little mite-looking things.
does that sound like anything I've ever heard of?
It does not.
Can't say that I know that is what that is. I mean,
Yeah, I've never seen him before, but apparently they hate the color red. He gave me 25 gold pieces for helping him out, and he also if we ever need food, he might come up to our guild and trade us some crops and stuff.
Did you click his name?
I honestly don't think I did.
Damn.
Let
Gunnar,
me
that's
see if
like
it's on the quest.
number one. I was saying that's like the number one thing in networking, man. You can give
Is
him
his
your
name on the
but you don't
quest?
know.
Is his name on the quest?
No.
No. Whoops.
Can we get that guy's name?
I mean, I can run back real quick. I think he's still I think he's fixing up what I did. Apparently, I didn't do a good enough job for him.
How so?
We were hammering in some like tiles to cover his plots that were red, so that the mites wouldn't come back. I'll run back real quick.
Yeah. You do that.
I'm going to absolutely sprint down the pathway.
You get there and he gives you his name. It's Zarek, spelled with an X.
It's Varric, but with a wait. It's Zareth. It's Zareth and Varric mixed together. It's Zareth. He's getting ult on us, guys.
Oh no.
Playing Zareth, dude. Anyway.
Yeah. Zarek is the name. With the
All right.
X.
All right, Zarek, you said?
Zarek.
The next.
Zarek.
So
There you go.
Ernan Zarek.
Yep, Ern and Zarek. All right. Guy's name was Zarek.
Okay. And where'd you get the quest from?
There was this little bar in Ontridge that I went to, found some quests. I also was talking to the
Job board?
barkeep. Yeah, there's a little job board. I was talking to the barkeep, and he said that if we ever want a barkeep, he'd gladly move from Ontridge to our guild.
Damn. It's quite the networking you've done. Okay, so we have produce and potential worker. Potential.
Oh, and I have a package I need to pick up from Ontridge.
No, it's not from
Or
Ontridge.
another quest I have. It's not from Ontridge. Where is it from?
Seraphil.
Seraphil?
You have to go Seraphil to earn Bayor.
I can do that later.
We could just do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it too much. We could what else do you got to do there?
There's a
your quests.
there's a dungeon out to the east. East of Ontridge, south of Ionis, somewhere in there. There's a.
We could do that tomorrow too, dude.
Yeah.
I think we should hustle a little bit. What do you think, Caroline?
I think Caroline's AFK.
All right, Caroline. I agree too. Caroline. Yeah, no, we should probably do some hustling. I'll do some hustling with you tomorrow. I'd like to actually talk to some of the people we're networking with eventually. Earn's kind of a difficult try or want, but yeah, I think really we get another little bit of gold. We take it up to earn, get some more iron, because I really want to throw this up right, put this building together in a perfect way. You didn't happen to run into any like expert carpenters, did you? I mean, I doubt that I need them. I'm a alchemist, but
well, the farmer was really quick at building.
Quick? What do you mean by that?
Like he was one time hammering in nails. He was moving his hand really precise but really fast.
Well, I'll have to talk to him about that, especially for the more prettier furnishings. You know, because let me tell you something about an advertising and pretty much just advertising yourself to sell yourself. If you look pretty, there's pretty privilege. So if they find our guild and it looks like a piece of shit, they're not going to want to come ask for jobs. But if it looks prettier than the damn R&D guild, we might be pulling in more business than them because we look better. That's just what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So maybe we ask him about that if he's like the best at building things ever. I tried to reach out to a couple other of my affiliates in Serafel. I didn't really get much, but
Mm.
yeah. So that's what we could work with tomorrow. I say we get back and I'll try to get us all shacked up somewhere nice in the house, and I'm gonna see if Zero like kicked it, cause it's been all damn day.
And I checked up on him before we left, and he was just passed out.
Damn.
The kid's done this before. I remember.
He's just a fan of
He's
power naps.
he was I didn't see him for like a whole day, and then he came home, and he was asleep for
Oh, he's just a big napper.
a good day.
Big napper. I mean, hey, that's fine. We're not doing anything right now. Let's just hope that he doesn't nap in the middle of a battle. Might be narcoleptic or something.
It's usually only if he's been doing more activity than he's used to.
Okay. I mean, hell, that doesn't bother me. Just
Yeah.
Worried about our members' health is all.
Yeah, the kid's all right.
Okay.
Or should be, because technically I didn't check his pulse, but you know.
We'll do that when we get back. Let's just focus on getting back home. When we swing back through here, I'll try to reach out. I've actually got some shit to attend to on the weekend here. There's a guy. We say this as we're walking, I assume, through Ontridge, I assume, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, my dad used to work with the local morgue and get bodies to, study on for medical reasons. So I was gonna reach out to a guy named Gary who used to work as a morgue, who might be able to at least cut a deal, or maybe do some borderline illegal shit. I say the illegal shit part in a quieter voice. It's for the benefit of science, so I don't really see a harm in it, but the law might. But that's how we used to be able to continue our research safely. So that's my plan. But yeah, no, we could run the dungeon tomorrow. Get the package moved. I'm kind of surprised that honestly, if you don't do it, the package thing, like literally the walk to Serafel ain't even that bad. So I'm kind of surprised that that's even a job. It might be done tomorrow. Might not even be available.
It's from Serafel to Erner Bay, or
Oh, Erner Bear. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more. I thought it was from here to Ontridge, or from there to Ontridge.
No, yeah. From
Oh,
Serafel
yeah,
to Erner Bay.
I can accompany you up to Erner Bear when we go, because I actually need to have a talk with this Ern guy.
Yeah, well, whatever Zero said to him, he apparently got a pretty good deal.
No, that's why I'm kind of surprised. I want to be able to better address he's Zero's kind of our mascot, but I kind of want to address the more serious tones of, hey man, actually need the brass tacks of it all,
Yeah.
Because the help and the assistance is fine, but like we got to solidify that bond with something. He said that all he wanted was a tool area, or like a fucking wares like side piece, but we could do a lot more for him.
So about at this time, you guys are arriving at your little currently being built guild. And you notice that you have some mail, Milo.
Shit. Really?
Yeah, in your little mailbox, you got some mail.
I grab it out of the mailbox, shape the earth into like a little letter opener, slide it through, open it carefully.
You open it, and
who was it addressed to? Well, who was it addressed to before I even opened
Misfits Fortune.
Misfits for okay, so it's probably guild stuff.
It does have it has the stamp of the Diplomacy Guild on it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I slide open the thing and open the pamphlet, the little letter.
It reads, "To the Guild of Misfits Fortune. In regards to your sightings within the interrupted zone of the trials, we wish to speak further on the matter in private. Please make your way to the Diplomacy Guild at your nearest convenience. Safe travels, Molmerdid Zalor."
Hey, I assume everybody's walking past when I look at the
Mhm.
letter. Hey, I get everybody's attention. Yeah, we got something from the Diplomacy Guild. They said,
Oh.
you know, the posting of our questions, comments, concerns on a big ass fucking being threatening the sanctity of the tree and all magic as we know it. And they're like, oh damn, we wish to speak further in private about it. So if we should head up to the Diplomacy Guild here soon. I hope we can do it without taking some sort of fare teleport, because that seems kind of like annoying.
Yeah, because which one's the Diplomacy Guild? Is that the one
It's the
by the
heart,
heart?
right?
Yeah,
It's the one to the west, the heart.
Mhm.
Is that
that's
right?
what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a run. But yeah, we should probably head there ASAP. So maybe we want to put the other quest on the back burner, because I don't know, something makes me feel a little bit uneasy about leaving a potential catastrophic event, to just sit on the back burner. Kind of spooks, especially because it was like a threat. It was like maybe it wasn't even a threat. Maybe it was a promise. So the quicker we can establish what happened, yeah. It also will allow us to get some press and some notice from the Diplomacy Guild themselves. Might put us in a better way. You know what I'm saying? In a better light, considering we have no renown. So saying that we saw what we saw, and if our theory proves correct, or thoughts prove correct, or whatever, there is a level of respect that may come from that. Which, as a guild, just starting out, we probably need some sort of renown or respect.
Yeah.
And not infamy. We want people to come willingly, not with a gun pointed at their head. So yeah, no, we could get that solved. Yeah.
All right, and that
I'm
is
actually gonna
actually
hold
where
on to the letter.
we're going to be ending our session for the day.
That's fine.
That's what we're gonna call
The
it.
last thing my character wants to do is put the letter back in the envelope and slide it in my pocket, because I'm hoping that instead of having to pay for a fare, maybe I could influence them that this is a urgent event, and that we need to get to the Diplomacy Guild as fast as possible,
Hmm.
because
I
this
guess
is
you'll have to see
concerning.
how that works next session.
Yes, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But that's the planets. No, we'll just put a pin in that.
Yeah. We should be all good. Same time next week, same place. For session 5.
Same place.
Yeah, as in
We're
like
going somewhere.
as in the VC. uh,
Yeah. No, I'm just clowning.
yeah. Just a nice little end of the session there to kind of get you guys started on that or whatever else you choose to do for the next session, since you guys have some options now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's what we're gonna call it for the session as well as for the stream today. I appreciate everyone who hopped in. For any of you interested in the Yomi tournament, by the way, I just want to make an announcement. This will also be on the Discord, but I realized that my work schedule on the Sunday of the Yomi tournament we were gonna do, I actually can't do that, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to move it from Sunday, and we might be able to do Friday, But if we do Friday, I might have to move the community night, either move it to Thursday or cancel it. But we'll have to see. So I'll make an announcement about that and see what we want to do. But otherwise, that is going to be all for me today. I appreciate you guys for joining, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you're at. Take care, chat. Bye-bye.
Bye.